Spectacular Southern California. The surf, sand, and sensational memories of a visit to an unforgettable destination. And an ideal location for some of the best young athletes in North America to unite. The Premier Girls Fastpitch National Championship in Irvine, California is an unmatched test of skill, teamwork, and perseverance. For nearly a decade, the best softball players in the world have gathered in this beautiful place and battled for the true national championship. The PGF 10U Premier National Championship is next. On a gorgeous Southern California morning, as we get ready to crown yet another national champion, this may be the most fun of them all. Out of the Chicagoland area, representing that 10U age group, the Beverly Bandits, and just outside of Houston, Texas, and Pearland, it's the Impact Gold. Two great programs at the youngest of levels. Hi there, folks. Let's feel young again. This is Olympian and All-American Amanda Freed. My name is Darren Sutton. Welcome back to the ballpark. This is the biggest game, the biggest moment that when you're 9, 10, and 11, that's the window for these players they've ever experienced. Amanda, what are we going to see today besides pure joy?
Well, this is such a fun age group because so much development happens at this age, and both of these organizations run deep in terms of their talent and their success, and it trickles down into this age group. But there is a ton of talent out on the field now. They're only 9, 10 years old, but to watch the way that they play, it's really inspiring, and it's exciting to think where they might be in a couple of years.
All right, let's go inside of the circle. This is Riley Whitley. She aspires to go to Texas A&M someday. We're a long, long way from decision time, but that's her dream school. Tell us a little bit more about Riley, Amanda.
Well, Riley's been doing a phenomenal job this tournament. She really has been their workhorse in the circle. She throws in the mid to upper 50s again. That's 10 years old. That's from 35 feet, so that's not a lot of reaction time for the hitters. She does a good job of locating her fastball and complements that with a changeup.
Isabella Del Real will lead things off for the Beverly Bandits, again just outside of Chicago. Lawson, Odell, a couple of Addisons back-to-back, Stang, Peckinpah, Van Vossen, Southall, and Andrews. And Audrey Heller's in the circle. We'll go ahead and let them play. We'll introduce you to these young athletes. You'll get to know all of them. That's the key for this broadcast and this event. Amanda and I are certainly glad you're here on behalf of our production team and PGF leadership as well. I mean, what a great event this has been all week long with these families, their passions, and these are the two that have made it this far. And it's been a great level of play at this 10U age group. Let's play some softball with the strike over the inside corner as Riley Whitley dots it, turning it over just a bit, 0-1 the count. Isabella Grace Del Real. That one buried in on her hands. Defensively, Ella Boyer's in center field. Allie Showers in left. Nobles flanks her out there defensively. Emma Knight is her battery mate. Jerry Ross Elementary for Del Real. She pops that one up to the right side. Running catch. Layla Nobles puts that one away. I'll tell you more about Isabella here as she has more opportunities. We will tell you that she'd love to be a doctor someday as Layla makes the play in right field. Matea Lawson now of the Bandits. Dream someday of going to Notre Dame, which certainly isn't too far from the south side of Chicago. That's the heartbeat of this Beverly Bandits program, who, by the way, sent a dozen teams to the premier level at all age groups. A dozen. That's how strong that program is. David Trackwell, the leader of this program. Casey Rogers, Chad Peckinpah on his staff as well. Tradition runs deep. The center of America, with regard to the Midwest, softball runs right through this program. Back to the screen it goes. So you've taught this game as well as playing elite levels at this age, Amanda. When you're in a teaching session with this age group, let's focus on Whitley. What are some of the things you're consistently working on?
Well, at this age, a lot of it is still mechanics. They're so young, there's so much that needs to be worked out and tweaked, and you're still developing pitches. At this age, really, you're still on about a fastball and a changeup. Really, you want to dial in the locations on those before you move on.
Well, you speak of the changeup, there it is, and it's dumped into center field. Not a bad pitch at all. As a matter of fact, it hit the brakes hard. Give Lawson credit for not drifting out and letting that pitch fool her.
Yeah, and then you talk the mental game as well, but look at that changeup, just a little bit elevated, and that's the kind of information you gain as a pitcher also at this age, is where exactly you need to put that pitch for it to be most effective. But good hitters, like Lawson right there, sits back and takes it up the middle.
Addison Odell dreams of being a Florida Gator someday. Newton Elementary School, first time she's ever been able to play on a national stage. She's thrilled about it. Corrine is mom, James is dad, and it's just her, no siblings. Lots of best friends, as she'll share. Well, there's some liveliness in that arm. Spinning it already pretty effectively, turning it over, good screwball there. 2-0 the count. Texas-based Impact Gold. 3-0 the count. Look a little bit different dealing with the base runner. Brooklyn Gidley, the young shortstop, comes in. Just a quick word of encouragement. There's the strike. 3-1 the count. Addison loves the water. Probably not as much Lake Michigan in the wintertime, but she'd love to be a marine archaeologist someday, interestingly enough. Have those kind of sights set, that means you've got to love being in the water. That means mom and dad have found her to some warmer water on occasion. There's some great lakes up there too, by the way. Got the outside corner, that's strike 3. Extended just a little bit. Odell thought it was maybe a bit wide. Spins it well.
And falls behind 3 balls. That's a couple balls off the plate. That's a tough pitch to put your barrel on, but one you've got to swing out with 2 strikes. You don't want to put it in the hands of the umpire.
0-1 the count. Addison Trackwell. Dad David, the head coach, heading into 5th grade. And she too dreams of maybe warmer climates in the wintertime. She'd love to be a Florida Gator someday, as this 10U age group batting in the cleanup spot. She's in the hole, 0-2. Dad was saying that there's just a second sense that she has, comfort in the outfield. First step, very solid for her, but she dealt with a tough at bat. Bounce back right away. Riley Whitley, after the single by Mattia Lawson on a good changeup, went back-to-back backwards Ks. And so the opportunity to get right to work, representing the Beverly Bandits in the circle. Number 12 in that jersey. This is Audrey Heller, entering the 5th grade at St. Francis of Assisi School. Like many of her mates, she'd love to be a Florida Gator someday as well. Tell us a little bit about Audrey.
Well, she's a lot like her counterpart in that she mixes her pitches very well, high velocity at 10 years old. But again, it's all about locations. She's been doing some good work in the circle for the Bandits. I have a feeling it's going to be pitching dominated this game. I don't know. I just watching the warm-ups here by Heller and then just seeing the way that Whitley performed out there last half inning. Runs are going to be few and far between.
Trinity Spencer leads things off. Brooklyn Gidley right behind her. Ali Rios, next spot down. Nobles, Knight, Whitley, Madison Smith, Ella Boyer. As we take you through, get right to the live action, you'll get to know all these athletes as they have their opportunity to hit. We'll tell you, this is Trinity Spencer. Dad is Terry, mom is April. She's got an older sister, Brooklyn, who's a few years older, yet has put that older sister thing aside and is beyond ecstatic, cheering for younger sis. This opportunity to play on a national stage. Outside corner does exist. Hitters be well. Outside corner, as we said, maybe plus a softball or two, so this will engage these hitters.
And Spencer's got her toes way up on that chalk line, almost out of the box. So she is absolutely able to cover a couple of balls off the outer edge of the plate.
So why not, right? I mean,
why not?
Unless there's the confidence there. So here's what pops into my head. The former pitcher in a different sport in me, is that a tough pitch to get as we watch the 1-2? Pretty changeup. Glove side, Right-handed pitcher, glove side, inner half, left-handed hitter. Tough pitch to go get for a young pitcher.
On the inside part of the plate to a lefty?
Yeah, coming in hard.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Instead, they like to live out there, right?
Yeah, and it's intimidating also. So you talk about the development of the pitchers at this age. A big part of that is being comfortable going in tight on the hitters because they're sweet. They're very sweet athletes at this point. They're competitive, but they're afraid to hit hitters. They don't, you just get nervous, and then what happens when you get nervous on the inside part of the plate, you end up putting it too much over the plate, and then you get a big hit off of you, and you get discouraged, and then you just want to stay off. But being able to healthily mix that outside part of the plate and jam them tight just to keep them honest is important.
The two combatants there, and good take over the outside corner. Great set of braids, by the way, behind that helmet of Trinity Spencer. I mean, there is some good work done there. That is game day, championship day work. You see it peeking out there in the shot. And how about that at bat? Come on, Freed, you got to tell me that's some good work right there.
That is some good work.
There is some extensive time being put into that head of hair. And a good at bat, by the way. You talked about on the plate, making her come in, maybe not with intent, but with that stance, I own this part of the plate.
Yeah.
Outside corner, dots it to Brooklyn Gidley. Gidley is the shortstop for the Texas-based squad, the Impact Gold team. Back out there, 0-2 the count. She'll be a fifth grader this coming school year at Oakwood Intermediate. And again, Pearland south of Houston, Texas. There's some players that come from some other suburbs, but it's a pretty centrally located team. I had a chance to talk with some of the families. The one thing that they shared with us is, we've seen 9 of these girls play together since they were 6 years old, and they're starting to trust one another, get this concept of teamwork, and even getting more organized in life. Twice a week they have practices. Some have extra lessons, but understanding how to spend time. Defensively, by the way, for the Bandits, Stang, Southall, Trackwell. Van Vossen is at third. Lawson, Del Real, and Peckinpah in the infield. Addison Odell is behind the plate. Well, they're ready for that pitch outside, but it kind of makes sense, right? The rookie ball thing that you learn when you play club sports of, okay, I got to get my homework done if I want to play sports.
Yeah, that's really where time management begins at a really young age, and the parents do a great job of making sure their athletes know you come home, you get your homework done, and then you move on to softball and you take care of the important things first.
Outside corner, Gidley goes down on strikes. By the way, with regard to Brooklyn, we'll tell you a little bit more about her family. Tip of the cap to Kara and Brian, mom and dad, because Brooklyn is one of 3, meaning triplets. Not 2 older and younger siblings. You get that?
Ugh. No, I don't. I don't get that.
Exhale,
I don't want to get that.
1-0 the count to Ali Rios. Aliyah Rios, given name. And it evens up at 1-1. Audrey Heller working in that circle. Ask Heller what she'd like to do when she grows up. Own a horse farm. Animals everywhere. Love animals. She sails that one to the backstop on a swing. And a foul ball, 1-2 the count. As a matter of fact, Audrey was even more descriptive in her aspirations. Not only a horse farm, but a big front porch covered with a lot of dogs out there hanging out with me. She sails that one high. That might have broke a window on the front porch. 2-2 the count. The innocence in the conversations with these athletes and their families has just been wonderful this week. Not to say that you don't love learning from the 18U athletes as well. In on the hands, good pitch. First time coming in to either side. That was a right-handed hitter, maybe a little easier to do, but she went and got that pitch inside. Good pitch.
That's a really good mix of pitches right on the inside part of the plate, and this is what that does. Gets in on the hands quickly and forces mishits for the big second out.
Layla Nobles Or feels comfortable now. 0-1 the count. Nobles heading into 6th grade. Alexander Middle School. Into righties has been the key. She tied up both Rios and Nobles. Trinity Spencer led it off with a walk. We played one. 10U National Championship. Everyone loves taking a vacation, especially if you have a chance to be a champion on that vacation for these families. But for the youngsters, you want a little comfort at home. We all love Southern California, Irvine, California, but Ella Boyer made sure that a little bit of dirt came along from her home yard at Pearland, Texas. That's right, a little bit of home with you. Brings some very good luck. Her teammates joining her in that effort. That was really neat before the game.
Yeah, it was cute to see the way that they were out there kind of prowling the field and getting to know it, taking in the moment, sprinkling a little home dirt.
Brooke Stang. She'll be a 6th grader. She makes not a dramatic commute, but you hear this a lot as the players get older, especially with this Bandits program based in the south side of Chicago as its central heartbeat, but she's an Indiana resident. Franklin County Middle School will take the trip when needed. She's got all kinds of great schools she'd love to attend someday. You name it, like Alabama, Florida, Oklahoma, why not? And if you're playing in a national championship at 10 and you're helping your team win, as Brooke is doing, why not dream big?
Hey, absolutely. There's a lot of time left to make those decisions, a lot of development still to take place.
Change up, and a good one. You tell me, it feels like, especially at this 10U age group, location matters, right, as we watch this pitch, but I think just the ability to throw one makes a big difference, right?
Oh, the changeup.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
location does matter, but not as much at this age group.
Yeah, because even at this age, the hitters are going to learn to catch up with the speed. You have to be able to throw the balance off at least a little.
1-2 the count. Brent is dad, Leslie is mom. Whitley tried that outside corner. It has lived, and it has lived with a little bit of extension too, so why not take a shot? Riley Whitley elevates that time. Brooke's been good in the classroom. Presidential Award winner, straight A's. Award winner, Language Arts Award winner. Speaking, writing, a big strength of hers already. No interest in that changeup.
That's a great at-bat. Brooke is very good at making contact, and obviously a very good eye in the box.
Premier Girls Fastpitch 10U National Championship. Right up at 50 teams, and they had to again turn teams away at this age group. The level of play each year getting better and better. Close to 600 overall this year in this event.
Yeah, this really is the culmination of the entire year, the end of the summer, this big national championship.
Outside corner. Consistently it's been there. Stang goes down on strikes.
That was such a good at-bat and a tough third strike pitch. The only difference in this pitch wasn't the corner, but it was the down location. That made it more difficult to see and get a piece of.
Caden Peckinpah will be a 5th grader in Tonier Elementary School. Elevates, looked good, 1-1 the count. Great defensive first baseman, and she loves it. She loves working on, as she says, scooping up messes for my teammates. Mess, obviously an errant throw. I love to scoop at first. There's that one just off the plate, 2-1 the count. Peckinpah will pitch some as well for that Bandits team, peering in from the dugout. They peered into a big boy game the other night we'll tell you about in a second as that one misses outside. They got together, pulled their nickels together as a group, and they went to an Angels game. And not only did they go to an Angels game, they made sure the Angels knew they were there. They were on the Jumbotron. They made it a night, and it was really great to see how much fun they had taking this in. As that one is outside, that's a walk to Caden Peckinpah. And of course, they went to that Angels game. They weren't rooting for the Angels. The White Sox were in town. The South Side Sox were in town, and so, though it may be at times a challenging effort, they rooted for the White Sox. I'm sure there are some Cubs fans down there in that dugout as well, but they were loyal to their region on that night, so great outing. Loved hearing about that. Come on now. That yawn grabbed her.
Yeah.
That was a I got up at 6 in the morning yawn.
Yeah.
That was why didn't Dad and Mom let me sleep? 1-0 the count.
When you're 10U, you grab the 8 a.m. game. And you work your way up to the 7:30 p.m. game.
Michaela Joy Van Vossen. After the walk by Peckinpah. No, fight it.
Maybe if I dip down low, nobody will see me. No, but this has been fun because we've seen both of these organizations on this stage at multiple age divisions. And a lot of them have an opportunity to see each other throughout the year. They do big organizational get-togethers.
It becomes that aspirational model too with the clubs that do things right, like both of these clubs where, as you said, you merge 10 and 18U, you have coaching, you have opportunities for young athletes to help teach and coach when you're 16 through 18.
Yeah, definitely.
Down she goes again, dotting that outside corner. That's 4 strikeouts for Riley Whitley.
And most of them on this outside pitch. She's just nailing this pitch that's on the chalk line of the batter's box. But it's being called a strike, so you have to put those toes up on the line if you're a hitter in that left-handed batter's box and do anything you can to fight it away.
1-0 the count as that one sails up and out of the zone. Molly Southall, a 5th grader at Stevens Intermediate School. Joyce's mom, Barry, his dad. She's a straight-A student. Yes, she did. Went around on that one with an offer there. Riley Whitley has enjoyed a lot of success early on in her softball journeys. 6 different times she's been an MVP of a tournament. Maybe bucking for that opportunity to win it here the way she's throwing. Change up, opting to bunt, making Whitley make a backhanded play. She's on. There's the speed of Molly. Very fun to see. Great decision. And an even better bunt. Couple of runners on.
And you see the short game be very effective at this age level. But look at the speed down the line. Molly legs out this bunt, well placed, as you mentioned. You want to try and get that bunt to that side of the pitcher, make her work a little bit, turn to make a throw. Almost got her, but it's a lot of wheels down the base path.
To the backstop it goes. Runners move up. Runners on 2nd and 3rd now, where Amelia Mills, as she is affectionately known, Mills Andrews, has an opportunity to do some serious damage. About to start 5th grade at Eastern Elementary School. Travis's dad, Wendy, is mom. She is the youngest of 5. Good conversation, pulling things together. Trackwell takes the time to talk with this hitter, the number 9 hitter. Also plays a ton of volleyball. It looks so good, there's just very little you can do with that pitch.
Yeah, especially with the heat that Whitley comes with. It comes up into your eyes, and as soon as you decide to start your swing, it's by you.
To the right side, backhanded effort, throw, got her! That ended up saving 2 with a safe call. 2 runs would have scored. Both runners were racing around. Trinity Spencer, 3, 4, 5 steps to her right, and an accurate throw. Look at the beautiful stretch by Madison Smith, turning into an out. Little things, Freed, that you learn. Amanda Freed, Darren Sutton, little things that you learn, but doing the little things well.
Yeah, making the routine plays or the difficult plays look routine. Look at how many steps over Trinity Spencer had to go to make that snap planted through to cross the first base for the out.
And so this team out of Texas, maybe with a little bit of life and some noise after that great play by their leadoff hitter. Spencer has walked and then made that fine defensive play. And so we move into the bottom half of inning number 2 at the 10U National Championship, Premier Girls Fastpitch. And the pitch right in on the hands, tight to Emma Knight. Knight heading into 6th grade at Rains Middle School, dreams of attending Notre Dame someday. The straight A student is a 4-3 ground out, giving way to Riley Whitley. Almost found a way to get to the dominating pitcher Riley Whitley, but Trinity Spencer helped her out. 1-0 the count.
Now Whitley's got a lot of speed out of the box, especially for a pitcher. She's got a ton of power, but she will also use the short game.
Two 2-0 the count to Riley. Older sister Casey, really good athlete, volleyball and softball in high school. She calls Casey her inspiration. Simply said, she's just laid out a roadmap. She's saying, I'd like to try and accomplish all the things she's accomplished. It's a really great all-around player for this Impact Gold team. And she's on. Both these teams perfect in their journeys to the final. The Impact Gold, leaving aside Power Surge, Next Generation, the Cal Great Bets program, Tulsa Elite, Gary Smith's team beating the Athletics and the Corona Angels as well. This great program started in the 80s, Impact Gold, like Dave Hayden and Stoney Burke, and there's been some good leadership along the way. It's spread beyond Texas now. Runner at first for Madison Smith. Dad passed down the love of the diamond sport. He played college baseball at Sam Houston State. 1-1 the count. Errant throw, idea the right one, execution not there, and suddenly the Impact Gold with a chance, Madison anyway, with an RBI to drive in a run. Madison Odell firing that throw, but just fired it a bit high.
Yeah, it's a good idea to throw behind the runner, but just a little too high, and you can see over there up in the screen, Addison Trackwell racing over to the line just a little bit too deep to be able to make a throw over to second base.
Might have gotten a little nick on the slide there. And the way to mend that nick, pull the sock up, roll the pant down. Let's go back to work. In on the hands, tight at third. Runner will move up to third. Van Vossen was on the spot, though, to make the reaction and the accurate throw. So Madison Smith, active athlete, playing multiple sports, is an out this time. The minder of the dirt. We saw Ella's Tin spreading her dirt around from her home turf. 6th grader at Vogel Intermediate School. That one misses in. A chance to have a conversation with Mom Dana, and it was Dana that was telling us that there's about 9 athletes on this team that have been together for quite some time. Understand what teamwork is, what selflessness is. Pearland's just south of Houston. There are some players from Temple and from Lufkin, again, suburbs of Houston, Texas. 2-0. Couple of walks in the inning and hoping to take advantage. The runner at third now. That's 3 walks being issued by Heller thus far in this game. Ali Hakimzadeh. Ali's going to be a 6th grader. Hakimzadeh, Seven Lakes Junior High. Jackie is mom, Dar is dad. And Ali's the catcher for this team. Perfect spot. 0-2 the count.
And Heller really dialing it in now after giving up the walk to Ella Boy, who has a ton of power. Now she's decided to go right at Ali.
Audrey's mom is Linda, dad is Chris, as she works in that circle, has an older sister, but not that much older. Her sister Marin's just a year older, 11 years old. That Chris, by the way, was a great basketball player, Cornell. Matter of fact, he's in the Cornell Hall of Fame. Managing moments, managing decisions, and managing personalities, especially at this age group. Inside tight, turned it over. That's been a key effective pitch. Dealt with a bout of wildness, certainly. Scoreless contest, PGF 10U National Championship. This Beverly Bandits program, certainly a point of pride here, as we talked about a dozen teams represented at different age groups. Bill Conroy, the key man, the heartbeat behind this program. You've got some rings and trophies from your jobs that you've done with the older teams. Hey, listen, congratulations, and I guess I'd like to start as we watch your team go to work with a bat in their hands at the 10U age group, about the relationship between those that are this young and those that are successful at the older groups. How much does this age group mean to you as a program?
Well, about 3 years ago, we started our, nice.
Isabella De Real with a base hit. Do all the analysis you want. Yeah, walk us through those decisions and how it's gone.
Well, I felt it was actually 3 to 4 years ago. We've been strong at the 14, 16, and 18 level for a while, but I felt we had to start doing more development at the 10s and 12s. And we went to the 12s first, and then added the 10s 3 years ago, and, been very happy. I think a lot of people felt that was a different style for us, since we were always more emphasis on the showcasing of the kids for colleges, and I didn't want to feed into the frenzy of the younger kids, but I also wanted them to be more acclimated to our style. We play a little different style of offense, and I wanted the kids getting more used to playing on a bigger stage, instead of playing just local. Well,
couple of base runners now. And so you go down age group. If I were to ask you, cup of coffee, cocktail party type conversation, and I didn't know anything about the Beverly Bandits program, aside, as we take a look to make sure that Mattia Lawson's okay, if I didn't know anything about your program, what would you tell me you guys stood for?
Well, I think quality. It's, I think with the program, from too many programs put an emphasis on one or the other, winning or showcasing. I think that the new rules that colleges have implemented has made it easier for the coaches like myself to end up running a program where you can end up doing both, developing the players at a young age and end up having them both be showcased and playing to win. So I think that's the one word would be quality.
It's interesting, and an opportunity for the Bandits here. Addison Odell, Amanda and I have talked about it a lot, whether we've broadcasted college games together through the Pac-12 out west out here, or being a part of this, which we're honored to be a part of. The change in the rules, Amanda, that's made a difference.
Yeah, I mean, how have you seen it, Bill? And you talked about your 10 and unders being able to interact with the 18 and unders, and how does that dynamic work specifically with recruiting? Do you see that it kind of helps the 18 and unders that keep it in perspective? And
well, I send a lot of group emails that go to every team from our 10s to 18s, and we have 14 teams. And a lot of it's about the recruiting process, about education, about the 40 years after the 4 years, and everyone not being so focused on what they see in the College World Series. And I think the sooner they get into our program, the younger they are, and the only age that we actually have tryouts is at 10 and under. Sooner they get acclimated to that and understand and hear my message, the better off they're going to be. So I think too often kids, young players, they all see the College World Series, and that's all they think about is the SEC, the Pac-12, and so having them in our program a lot younger, I get to try to educate them and their parents about the whole process. And so far it's done well, and obviously it's acclimated to this point here with our 10s and the opportunity to win a PGF national championship.
Love that. You were hoping that some of your older players and families rallied out of the rack and came out here. There's a lot to do when you take a trip like this. I would imagine for a lot of your families, they hope that success continues because it becomes, let's save up for our family vacation, and this is our family vacation.
That's exactly right. I think everybody's enjoying. We're staying at a Hotel Irvine. Everyone's enjoying it. All of our teams are staying there. It's a beautiful place, and it's a destination.
Sacrifice of parents, and this speaks to the depth of your program geographically. Maybe not as much at this age group, maybe the 10U age group, but all the way up to 18s. How much driving goes on? I mean, we've heard Illinois, Wisconsin, Ohio, Indiana. We've heard lots of states.
Iowa. Washington, Oregon. We have, I had kids from 8 different states on my team this year, 9 the last 2 years when we won national championships. So this group is from, I think almost everyone's Northwest Indiana and Illinois, from that general area there, and they have one player from Iowa.
Beverly Bandits looking to strike, and an opportunity for Addison Trackwell. We were telling you about Dad David Trackwell in that third base coach's box. So you as the leader of this program, we heard about this yesterday at the 18U Platinum age group, the communication, the impact that the leader can have on the understudy, and obviously leading a team. Talk to me about coach communication.
Well, Casey Rogers and David Trackwell, as well as Chad, they've done a great job. And Chad is, Casey played for me several years ago. She actually was my kid's babysitter. So,
wow.
I've known her for a long, long time. And her older sister played for me. So they know what I'm expecting. And Dave's been terrific with communication, knowing what he should do and shouldn't do. And all I asked him to do is not put too much pressure on the kids. Don't make this game too big of a, it's all still about having fun. And I think if the kids end up playing their game, they'll do fine.
Bill Conroy, founder and president of Beverly Bandits softball squad. And a couple of years ago, we saw that video, that 16U, that ring. Now there's a few more that you have there. Let's see those, by the way, real quick. There we are.
I have one here. This Amanda was part of this one. 2008, the Pro League, Chicago Bandits. So.
Okay. How exciting is the evolution, and you talk about the Pro League, the evolution of this sport again. Not only it's unique to work with the Play Ball initiative with Major League Baseball, where softball is as inclusive with baseball. I was just at the All-Star game, but also as we head into the Olympics.
I think it's so important that we end up the sport, obviously with the Olympics coming up. MLB's always been a terrific supporter of the Pro League, and the Pro League has its, we need a fan support, and that fan support's got to come from this age level, actually. my personal viewpoint is if the kids don't support it, as much as we want to see the Pro League succeed at the highest level, regardless of what sport it is, you need the grassroots to end up supporting it for it to end up really taking off.
That, by the way, your Olympic representation there. Part of that great resume. Baseball's always been supported, but I think even more so now. I think with this commissioner, it's just deemed like we are going across, not just across the aisle. We're taking the aisle down, and certainly more can be done. But as you said, maybe in support of that Pro League, we'll see how that evolves. Meantime, your team in orange and black has the infield drawn in tight with the bases loaded, and a chase down and away. A couple of big strikeouts. What's next? If I'm going to look at the Beverly Bandits program in 5 years, 10 years, what happens next?
Well, I think we're in a good position with the kids that we have in the program doing things the way we are right now. I don't expect to have to be making any changes. I think the NCAA with the rule changes have helped make the path much clearer. When I was having to be concerned about 12-year-olds being showcased, I was a little worried about where the sport was going. And now, I think there we go. Yes.
That's the kind of reaction we would expect. The Bandits lead it by a score of 2-0. Caden Peckinpah comes through. She walked in the second. This time, a base hit into right field.
And finally gets a piece of this, and look how she gets it up and over the second baseman Spencer's head into right field, and the runners are off. You are absolutely going to challenge this throw because every run matters in this game.
Runner grabs a base, no throw there, so a stolen base by Caden. What a beautiful piece of hitting. As Michaela Van Vossen now with her opportunity. Michaela struck out back in the second inning. You go to that Angels-White Sox game the other night?
I did not.
Okay.
I had tickets, actually, but because of where we were in the tournament, I just felt like it wasn't the right place to be. So
it wouldn't have been friendly for us because I'm an Angels fan, so we would. I'm glad we didn't enjoy that together. Thanks for coming by.
Oh, thank you. It's always a pleasure. Good to see you, Amanda.
Good to see you too, Bill.
Okay.
Congratulations to these Bandits program. Where they're headed, they've got a lot of work to do, but they lead it 2-0. Offense arrived. This is the Premier Girls Fastpitch 10U National Championship. A collection of about 50 teams that came together again, turning dozens away again this year. The level of youth softball. Amanda Freed, Olympian All-American at UCLA. My name is Darren Sutton. We're glad you're spending some time with us. If you're in the Midwest watching, you're getting closer to your lunchtime. If you're out west, and you're enjoying some great softball, or if you're in Texas watching as well, probably wrapping up that second or third cup of coffee. And if you happen to be watching at work because you're passionate about one of these athletes, just let your supervisor know. Unless you are the supervisor, then watch your way. Let your supervisor know this is a special moment. And let's watch how Audrey Heller responds here. Beautiful bunt. That's the way you start it. Spencer will take a turn. Trinity, who walked and made a great defensive play. How about an extra turn? Well, why not make him make 2 extra throws? That's the key there. Beautiful bunt hit for Spencer.
Yeah, it's a good job of starting off, getting that button down again. A good placement to the right of the pitcher. She has to go over, grab it. And then there's a little miscommunication maybe on who's receiving the throw or just getting over there a little bit late. Del Real meets the ball the same time as the runner, and that allows Spencer to go over to second base.
Another bunt. Make the defense make the play. They are unable to do it, and suddenly it's a 2-1 game. 1 extra base. Maybe 2, maybe more. Wheeling her on around, the throw to the plate. executed out at the plate. Odell pops the tag down. Gidley just kept following the direction. Gary Smith said, let's make them do it, and they did. Look, a miscue defensively, but kudos on the backside to a key defensive play.
Yeah, errors are going to happen, but you got to pick it up real quick and recover, and there's just no backup by Trackwell in right field. She's up the line instead of against the fence, so the ball gets away into deep right field, but then the relay is on point to cut the runner down at home.
That's Isabella Del Real with that beautiful relay throw. Great job. Trackwell went and got it, but she hit Isabella with it, and that was the key. Nice job by Addison to the cutoff man, but a distant and very accurate throw, and then Addison Odell holds on to it. But it's a 2-1 game. Rios, one hopper out to third. Allie, who popped up to the third baseman last time up. So a couple of quick outs here in the bottom half of the third inning. Layla Nobles grounded out back in the first. Changeup, oh baby, what a good one. 0-1 the count.
Now, Impact has stepped into the box this half inning very aggressively, so this is a good decision on this pitch, and look how it falls off the table.
Late swing, couple of defensive miscues, costly certainly, but one cleans it up at the end. 2-1, Bandits lead it. The Gary Smith-led Impact Gold team. Smith along with Kelly Whitley, Jason Boyer, and Cassie Bearfield. And this is a program certainly with a lot of pride, a lot of depth, and one that plays down successfully to this 10U age group. 2-1 is the score. And away we go, 2-1 as we move into the fourth inning. Premier Girls Fast Pitch, 10U National Championship. Molly Southall leads it off. She singled in the second inning. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Molly's sister Miranda, 20 years old now, but her teacher and her coach in many ways. She's meant the world to me, taught me a good work ethic. I've watched her closely. She goes down on strikes that time.
Now batting number 7, Amelia Andrews.
Mills Andrews grounded out to the right side back in the second inning. So in a couple of years, when a couple of laps around the track go by and you're sending your young one to the orthodontist wondering what your dental plan covers, Dr. Andrews will let you know which plans, because she hopes to be an orthodontist. She'll make sure your teeth are straight, and if you're into Invisalign, she'll give you those options as well. Orthodontist someday, that's what Amelia wants to be. All of us parents out there have racked through those plans and what covers what. Amelia will have a good staff, and she'll help you understand how to make it work.
I just wish I could dive deeper into that. You had to have had some sort of a great experience with the dentist or orthodontist. I mean, I wanted to work at SeaWorld, but that was more obvious.
You know what else is obvious? Whitley. My goodness, that's 9 strikeouts. She's uncomfortable dental work.
Yeah, she throws that ball hard, and then she mixes in her changeup, but then using that up pitch also. We talked about how it comes up at the eyes, it looks good, but it also gets by you quickly.
You want to know if she went around on the swing. No swing there. Isabella Grace Del Real.
Now batting number 29, Isabella Del Rio.
Popped up right side. Wow, very quick work. A pair of strikeouts, taking that total to 9. And the second out in the air in this contest, dominating, looking to get her offense going. It's a family. It's an entire group that made its way to Southern California from the Midwest. The Beverly Bandits, David Trackwell, he along with Casey Rogers and Chad Peckinpah. Hey, Coach, first of all, thanks, congratulations on your journey to this point. That whole group that we talked about, all those teams, one hotel, for your young athletes, how great has this experience been for their families to see older softballers enjoy it as well?
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's a great experience. These kids are going to remember this for the rest of their lives. Families are just simply amazed by their attitude and the heart that they put in this game.
And Coach, you've played some of the best in the nation here this week, and in your opinion, seeing your team play, what does it take at this age level to set yourself apart?
Just a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication from the kids, families, the instructors. Seems like a lot of instructors don't get the gratitude that they deserve. It takes a lot on their part to get these kids ready.
Middle of the diamond. We'll let you go to work, set your defense, Coach. Congratulations on your journey thus far. We appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I always like to let coaches coach when it's time to coach. And Kylie Whitley continues to be the story in this event. Beautiful piece of hitting, then she took advantage. Perfect.
Right back up the middle. Nice chopper. Look at the outfielders are split, so that leaves the gap up there. Emma Knight chopping it over the pitcher.
They had her shifted defensively in the outfield, played around to the other side, and so they're going to put a fresh set of legs out there to run. Changeup is high. Victoria Vargas. What do we know about Victoria as she runs out at second?
Well, she's out there because she's got speed. Speed is what the scouting report is on her. Very fast. So it's a 2-1 ball game. That runner out there on second base matters. There's no outs in this inning, so huge opportunity for the impact.
We're talking about Whitley a moment ago. This is her chance. Emma Knight got that base hit. So Riley with a chance to continue to be the story. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter. As she takes high. That's a great scouting report. I love that. Speed, speed, speed. Victoria Vargas. Late on that one, takes it right out of the catcher's mitt. Vargas out there running, by the way, is heading into 6th grade at Quail Valley Middle School. Pitcher versus pitcher here, and for Riley Whitley, she has 9 strikeouts as she deals with Audrey Heller. She's trying to see it as long as she could.
I just love this age division because there's such a difference in development, maturity, size. You see some smaller, some larger.
Everybody's safe. And Turbo moved on to third. Vargas bearing that nickname Turbo. There was no hesitation. Whitley, I gave her a hit a moment ago. How about I give her another one?
Well, she's quick out of the box. I think over there, Lawson maybe thought she had an extra step to get it over, but she doesn't because Whitley is fast, and there's Vargas. She's fast too.
I dare you. Trying to tie this thing up. And maybe more. Whitley takes the base. No throw there, and that's there for the taking. With the speed at third, you can't even think about throwing it. Fifth grader Madison Smith grounded out to third, back in the second inning. Madison fly ball into right center field. Shallow, late tag, very good throw.
That could have been a close play. That would have been exciting to watch that develop. Vargas gets off and has to go back and tag. She gets back there in time, but I think the ball a little bit too shallow to really take that risk, and a nice throw home.
Molly Southall with a great throw from center field. 0-1 the count to Ella Boyer. That Jason, a college football player. 0-2, right under those knuckles. Matter of fact, Jason played at Lafayette, University of Louisiana. There's some dive and drop to that one. Good two-strike pitch. What a great level of softball we've experienced. This 10U age group. Toward the right side, that will plate a run. 2-2 is the score. Boyer did exactly what she hoped to do, drive that run in. And all of a sudden, we start over. And it's a 3-inning game. Whitley moves to third.
Now batting number 2, Ali Hakimzadeh.
Ali Hakimzadeh. Pops that one up. Someday, Texas A&M, if they'll have me. That's what Ali dreams of. This Impact Gold team out of Pearland, Texas, just south of Houston. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Up out of the zone to get the number 9 hitter, but a big, big run. It was Emma Knight, it was Riley Whitley, it was the speed of Turbo as well. 2-2. Two-two. 10U Premier Girls Fastpitch National Championship game, a field that was full from the very beginning and a line of teams to get in, just the space, and this continues to grow. Conversation with some of the leaders here at PGF. They've been so thrilled with the addition the last few years of this 10U age group, the response, the level of play, the commitment of the families, that you may see this one grow onto a larger media platform next year. Way to go, 10U softballers. Mattia Lawson to lead things off. The Beverly Bandits out of Chicago and Indiana, as we heard, south side of Chicago. And Impact Gold out of Texas. Pearland, Texas, that's strike 1. Riley Whitley has 9 strikeouts.
Through 4 innings.
She's been really good.
She has been good.
Oh, and 2 the count. Lawson up on that chalk line, but wasn't as interested in that pitch. Heading into 6th grade at James Hart Middle School. Outside. Mattea already active in volunteering in her service hours. Working with those in need with volleyball, softball. Outside corner, that's strike 3. That is 10 strikeouts. Amanda Freed, how is she doing it as we walk through these strikeouts?
Oh, exactly on that pitch right there. Look at this outside location. She's been staying away so well and then going to the changeup when she needs to. But she has done a very good job of finding the outside edge of the strike zone, getting hitters to swing and getting him to watch that pitch. I mean, she's elevated a little bit more. She's really started to work all aspects, all corners, all quadrants. 10 strikeouts.
Here in the 5th inning as she deals with Addison Odell, who chases high up and out of there. First pitch was a strike. Next pitch swung on and missed. 0-2 the count to Addison. Outside corner, that's 11 strikeouts. And Addie Trackwell now.
Now batting number 14.
11 of the 14 outs, strikeouts. Just got a piece of that one.
You know, these two teams faced each other earlier in the week in pool play also. You sometimes think those pool play games are just warm-ups into the tournament, and who'd think you're going to face one of your pool play foes in the championship game, and Impact actually run-ruled the Bandits. This is a little bit of a different story, but Whitley in the circle holding it down. I think both of these pitchers really doing a phenomenal job.
It was just really one big hit. Caden Peckinpah after some patient at bats. There's that change of pace, 1-2 the count. Brother's a heck of a football player. Brother Dylan, when we talk about in that batter's box with Addison Trackwell. Just got a piece, just got enough. Line drive, base hit, right fielder. She legs it out. Nobles made an effort there, but that's a couple of times. So Trackwell's had a really good day. Struck out looking, but then she walked, and now she's singled. You get to the point where any damage is big damage against this pitcher.
That's right, and really look at that at bat. Look at the approach of not trying to swing too hard. That has to be your approach against a pitcher like Whitley, who's bringing the heat. Just sit back and meet the ball with your barrel. Let her provide all the power.
She's living out there, anticipating a pitch out there. It's rolled to the left side. Stang with a good approach as well, but Rios was there defensively. He's 11 strikeouts thus far. 2-2 game, 10U national championship. Such a deep program, both of these really, but this Impact Gold program out of Texas. Gary Smith is their head coach. And Coach, thanks for taking just a moment during this busy time. If I were to ask you, simply put, if we were having a cup of coffee together in a couple of sentences, what does your program stand for, top to bottom? Coach, what would you tell me?
Our program stands for competing at all the levels. We come from 8U all the way up to 18U, and we just want to come out and represent Impact Gold nationwide, represent the Houston area, and show great sportsmanship on the field.
And we've been talking a lot about your pitcher, Riley Whitley, and what she's been able to do in the circle. What is it about her that makes her so special?
Oh, the kid's just a competitor. She'll come out here, she'll be ready any game. She threw, I think, 11 innings. I might be wrong on that yesterday, but she hasn't lost a single mile per hour. She's hitting her spot. She's getting dialed in right now. Got to figure out, we change field to field, different strike zones. My voice is almost gone, so hopefully you can hear me.
No, you sound good. You sound good. Plenty of impact. Now take your impact team and go get them, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate Gary Smith taking just a moment to have a conversation with us. The story, really, the pitching is a man to mention. Trinity Spencer is getting as close as she can up on that line. She's told a little bit close there, and she's backed out, so hitter's not enjoying that so much. Let's see how she responds. Let's see if Heller's able to go outside now. No interest. Well, why not?
Well, these lefty hitters specifically have been really taunting the pitchers to throw inside. And look at that toe, almost touching the edge of the plate. And she's not the first one that we've been watching do this. We've seen some slappers step across over that line as they're going through the box, but a lot of toes just getting as close as possible to that plate.
So as an athlete advocate, if my strike zone is a hitter, and the word has spread, and it was just mentioned by Gary Smith, strike zones are different, field to field. That's what you're hoping to do. That's a foul ball. My strike zones are different, certainly field to field. If I'm hearing the word and I'm somebody like Trinity Spencer, and I know that two softballs outside is a strike, I'm sorry. I'm going to make them move me back.
No, I definitely agree, and that's why that inside pitch is essential to get those hitters off the plate and open up that outside part.
Trinity's pesky, and she has played a great second base, made a fine play to save a run, maybe two earlier in this game. Turns out to be a huge play, doesn't it? I mean, for Gary Smith, but she's also walked, she's also singled. Terry and April, dad and mom. Trinity's on.
And Trinity's the youngest player on this team. She can stay down in 10Us next year also. She's leading off for this team. She's been on fire this tournament.
Sister is a couple of years older. She's 13, Brooklyn, but she plays softball as well. How good of an athlete is Trinity? She won first place in a punt, pass, and kick contest, and she just swiped the bag. No one covering, playing the bunt though, and that's what makes it tough. Trinity moves up.
Maybe a little miscommunication on coverage or forgetting the runner is there, but a wide open base for Spencer to steal.
Brooklyn didn't mean to, so she's in the hole 0-2. How about that? Trinity, first place, punt, pass, and kick. I played football at Lamar. Audrey Heller trying to work around things. It's been an effective pitch for both pitchers to elevate. Heller with 4 strikeouts, line down into center field. Hustling on around is Spencer toward the plate, draws the throw. Impact Gold grabs the lead. And with that one sailing away, 2 more bases. Brooklyn Gidley gets it done. And 3-2 is the score.
And another solid line drive. Right back up the middle to the left of Southall out there in center field. She up, and instead of going to second base, because the run is clearly crossing, an errant throw down the third base line, and that allows for a couple of extra bases. The things that you learn at this age division also, these athletes have so much talent, but there's so much going on in this game.
0-1 the count on Ali Rios. 5th grader, Rasco Middle School. Dreams of Auburn University or Oklahoma someday. 1-2 the count. Ali's mom is Jessica, dad is Oscar. Popped up, right side, race down. Caden Peckinpah didn't miss a beat in foul territory. Not an easy play, and she made it look easy.
Now batting number 9, Leila Nobles.
Get those hands back, be on time, kid.
Change up, high. Trying to get Nobles to drift out front. Heller staring pressure right in the eyes and trying to keep that runner at third. She's, even at a young age, had that kind of pressure in other sports as well. And she misses low. She played in an AAU basketball tournament a couple of years ago and scored 6 decisive points in the last 30 seconds of the game, including a winning free throw with 2 seconds to play. But this time, it's her foes that get it done. Into center field, Layla with the base hit, and 4-2 is the score. The pride of Texas on top by a pair. That's a great smile.
I know, it's so exciting to be able to come through in this situation on this stage. So calm and patient in her at bat. Nobles goes right back up the middle. And the Impact Gold hitters look like they're settling into the box. Look at that load. Load, stride, meet the ball, drive it up the middle.
And a wonderful bat flip on the back end as well. This game's fun, enjoy it, and they are enjoying it. This pesky Bandits team, they'll have an answer. To the backstop, runner moves. Into scoring position for Emma Knight. Lights on. And with some great lofty goals, hopes to play at Notre Dame, would like to earn her degree and be a good student. And as Emmett tells you, I'd love to be a successful businesswoman someday over there at First. As Audrey Heller receives a visit from her head coach, David Trackwell. She's had traffic every inning, but boy, she's handled it well.
Yeah, this is a lot of pressure for a 10-year-old to go through, and you're in a national championship game, and when things are going good, you're feeling good, and when they're not, you just got to be able to turn that corner and get your head right back in the game, and that's something you learn over time, and coach's job is just to go out there, calm nerves and reassure the pitcher that she's doing a great job, which she is.
That one sails high to the backstop. Victoria Vargas is on, by the way, as a runner. One and one the count. I'll tell you, Nobles better hurry down that third base line or Vargas may just pass her. Turbo, they call her, running out at second base. Grounded out toward short. Taking an aggressive run. That one skitters away. Vargas scores easily. 2 more runs cross the plate. All the way to third goes Whitley.
Number
6-2 is the score. Whitley rewarded for making contact and hustling.
You put the ball in play and then get your wheels going because you put pressure on the defense. This is a nice snag and a catchable throw that just gets away from Peckinpah over that first base.
Caden, who earlier in this inning made a really nice running play in foul territory, had that one handcuff her. Now the way Whitley has pitched, 4 runs, appears to be a tall mountain to climb, but we'll watch these Bandits and the heart they've shown. Pitcher Whitley, who is at third, has been so good with 11 strikeouts. Madison Smith, Woolman Elementary School, 5th grader. And her sister's Mackenzie, who's 8. Boy, what a changeup. Buckled her. 1-2 the count.
That was a nice pitch.
Well struck out toward short. Clean play across the diamond, but another run. Number 7 crosses the plate. RBI for Madison Smith, again rewarded for making contact. Lawson to Peckinpah on the out. 7-2 is the score.
Good job, Maddie. Way to do your job.
One 1-0 the count to Ella Boyer. One ball and 1 strike the count. Changeup is high.
And Heller wanting that pitch, but it looks like it just comes up a little bit too high before it drops into the zone.
2-2 the count. Down she goes on strikes. It's a 5-run 5th inning. The PGF 10U National Championship. Creating memories, magical moments, certainly for these two teams. Amanda Freed, Olympian and All-American. My name is Darren Sutton. We're certainly glad you're with us. This team out of Texas The Impact Gold team just kept chipping away, having busy bases every inning, but really unable to come through big against Audrey Heller, but then they did. And you've got the feeling that when you look at someone out there in the circle the whole game that is saying, okay, I'll keep us close, don't worry about me, I've got you guys covered, that breeds confidence amongst the hitters.
Oh, absolutely. You hit the feeling that you've got time, you're not rushed every inning, you're not pressing. You can just wait and be patient, have good quality at bats and allow it to come. And Impact has been scoring a lot of runs all tournament long. They run ruled several of their opponents, so it was just a matter of time before they were able to bust out in this game.
Caden Peckinpah with 11 strikeouts. That's what she's dealing with. Peckinpah dealing with the 11 strikeout tally of Riley Whitley. Caden's had a great game, though. Singled in a pair. Walked. Key 2 RBI single in the third. Made a fine defensive play in foul territory as well. Racing, catching a ball in the air last half inning. Change up. Almost as if she's toying with something that we haven't seen much of. She's just hammered the outside corner. Against lefties especially. Like that. 2-2 the count. So by the way, Amanda Freed, Caden Peckinpah, who is a long ways away from that recruiting age that we talked about, she dreams of going where you went, to UCLA, though she's a Midwesterner. She has dreams of heading to UCLA. Do you have any advice for her?
Go for it.
Nice.
It's the best place on earth. You won't regret it.
Love it. Peckinpah goes down for the first time. As we said, she's had a wonderful championship game. Here's Michaela Joy Van Vossen. 0-1 the count. Michaela versatile. Slapper, they play her tight defensively. Full swing there, 0-2 the count. Michaela would love to be a vet someday, a veterinarian. If it goes her way, she'll earn that degree and head to vet school at Tennessee or Notre Dame. Strikeout tallies continue. 13 strikeouts through 6 innings of work.
Just that outside corner has been one pitch after another, just inching it a little bit further with each pitch. And that's hard when it's a ball 2-3 off the plate. You're trying to keep your head down, the barrel angled up, and get it squarely on the ball, and that's difficult.
Macy Roberts is going to get a chance to hit now, 5th grader at Highland Elementary School. Gavin is dad and Molly is mom. A couple of older siblings, Emmy and Millie, 11 and 14 years old. Mom played a ton of softball and was really good. There's strike one. Matter of fact, her older sister, who's 14, is a verbal commit to Auburn already. One and one the count. I wonder how a young mind works and how athletes like this see the world and think about other things they might want to do besides just being a 10-year-old. We were talking with Macy and her family, and she literally has thought about this on many occasions. She'd love to be a doctor, not only a doctor, a brain surgeon for this great student in the classroom. 2-2 the count. Very active and ambassador for Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Works in her school and volunteers. Strike 3, so that outside corner exists for a right-handed hitter as well. 14 strikeouts through 6 innings of work. The Riley Whitley Show here in Irvine, California. 7-2 is the score. Amanda Freed and Darren Sutton, the Premier Girls Fastpitch 10U National Championship game. And for Audrey Heller, she has had some really good moments today. We were telling you about the pride she has in her family with strong Iowa roots. Grandparents, her grandfather a doctor, grandmother a nurse. They own a golf course now, and family great ties to the rural farms of Iowa. She's been a worker today, has had some tough breaks behind her defensively, but she goes back out to work to look to finish what she started. Bailey Barber gets an opportunity to hit for the Impact Gold team. Some of the players that did not get to start, a great opportunity for Bailey. She rolls that one, the daughter of Amy and Travis, out to the third base side. Barber with the quick out. And now Trinity Spencer. Already talked about, before we ever knew what she could do or would do, we talked about Spencer's great head of hair and those braided locks coming out of the back of her helmet. So let's get beyond the hair, although it's eye-catching and certainly can distract, and it's fun. She's been a great softball player today.
She's been a great softball player all week. And she's just aggressive. We talked about she has another year in this age division, whether she decides to stay down or move up with a bunch of her teammates, that's going to be her decision. But leading off here, this situation, getting it done. She's so confident in the box, too, sticking her toes just over the edge of that batter's box.
Bounced out toward third, lets it travel deep into her stance, and they find a way to get her.
It doesn't happen very often, but look at that head down. Good contact, but right at Van Vossen over at third base. Clean throw across the diamond.
Student council member Brooklyn Gidley takes a changeup that is high. Heller trying to get a call on that changeup a couple of times this inning. Not only is she a student council member, Gidley, but she's a straight-A student. As that one misses outside. 2-0 the count. Two balls and one strike. They're feeling that they're getting close in that dugout. The cheers have turned up a notch in that third base side. 2-2 the count. You bet if you support that Impact Gold team, you're wearing an Astros hat. That's your home team. Kind of like making a play on Tal's Hill that used to exist at the home of the Astros. That hill that didn't make sense in playing center field that they removed. That's outside, 3-2 the count. We talked about, well, that's kind of the energy that's in the Gidley house right there, because as we told you earlier, Brooklyn's not alone. She's one of three. Addison, Caitlin, Brooklyn triplets. And the triplet rolls it to the right side, one of three. 3 outs. The key number now. Seeing if they can get things going. Lily Andrews will lead it off, trying to win a title. Moments. Memories, unforgettable. There will be other games, there will be losses for this team that they see tears that follow. This doesn't appear to be one of those days. For the Bandits, this team from the Midwest that has played so very well as part of a program that has sent a dozen teams out here to the premier level of the PGF National Championships. It has been a spectacular day. Allie Shower out there in left field. She's got it figured out perfectly. That sun's not going to phase her. Darth Vader look to it. I like it. Audrey Heller gets her first opportunity to hit. Amelia Andrews was working in that spot as the DP, and Heller, we were talking about how much fun her work ethic has been shown today. Boy, good positive stuff to see for the future for Audrey. She's dealing with a tough hombre, though, with 14 strikeouts in Riley Whitley on a beautiful day in Irvine, California. Amanda Freed and Darren Sutton, glad to have you with us. To the right side, Heller's got a base hit. Something very few of her teammates have been able to do. What a great approach. That's a nice reward for hard work and a job well done today.
Yeah, absolutely. To be doing your homework in the dugout offensively as well, even though you're not getting the opportunities, but then when you do, keeps the head down, punches it opposite field. Nice, solid contact to get her team going here in the top of the 7th.
And that head never left the bat. That was a great replay. Good stuff, guys. Off the end of the bat, not an easy play. Dives, spins, and you knew that would be a challenge for Trinity Spencer. So far from done, they hope. They hope. As Isabella Grace Del Real picks up a base hit.
And when you put the ball in play, good things happen. It's not always pretty, but it gets the job done.
Runners move up as that one skips by Emma Knight. Runners on second and third, 7-2 the score. Good conversation. Time to talk things over right now. Gary Smith comes out. You can see situation is being discussed. Base runners. Well, you don't want to let things get too far, Amanda, obviously, but for my money, I think the conversation probably is, even if those 2 runs score, let's just focus on the hitter. Let's make plays.
Yep, get the out. If there's an obvious play and a runner on the base paths, go ahead and make it, but if not, just get the out.
Get the outs that are in front of you, even if 2 runs score. If you keep getting outs, you win. I mean, obviously that's the key. This is a pitcher that has struck out 14. Mattia Lawson. She's done well. She's been on a couple of times, scored a run. Single back in the first inning. 2-1 the count. One.
That's good discipline on that pitch. That's kind of been 50-50, it feels like, this game. And again, another lefty with her toes way up on that line.
Got some help with the rise ball, 3-2 the count. Obviously, when strikeout has been your weapon, you'd love one here. You would imagine it's right there, outside, same spot. And it is, and it's wide. And that was definitely wide of where pitches have been called. Bases loaded for Addison Odell. Very patient at bat by Lawson, who now has been on 3 times today. Addison takes high, 1-0 the count. The Texans trying to take down the team from the Midwest. 1-1.
And the bases loaded. I like the idea of doing a little short stuff too, because it kind of jumbles up the defense a little bit, and we've seen some long throws across the diamond. Runs can be scored, but just putting the ball in play can make things happen.
Especially against a swing and miss pitcher.
Yeah, if you try to swing for the fences, even if you were to hit a home run over this fence right now, you still are going to be down in this game. It's about doing the little things and just station to station hitting.
Outside, 3-1 the count, the pesky things. That's what they did in the third inning. Short strokes, patient at bats. They plated a pair of runs. Caden Peckinpah with a big hit. Line, that's a foul ball, just foul. Oh boy.
And this was close. The cut though, the spin off of the stick of the lefty brings it foul. Nice solid contact.
You can look that way, you can rest assured that it will be that way. She has not come inside to a lefty all day. Doesn't mean it's easy. Outside, that's ball 4, 7-3 is the score. I'm amazed with the patience in a pressure situation where you would think you'd absolutely want to expand your strike zone when it's been a big strike zone.
Well, and really, when you put your toes that far up on the line, as a pitcher, you feel like that pitch is closer to the zone than it actually is. As a hitter, if you can be disciplined and lay off of that pitch that's far out of the zone, it should be called a ball.
Trackwell has walked and singled. Just below the ankles, comes up empty, 0-1 the count. Addison Trackwell. Punches that one out up the first base line. That's what you're talking about, making them make plays. But she came up empty, 0-2. Boy, that's a fair ball. I'm not quite sure if there was an out in their future. Trackwell was good speed. Against right-handers, it's just a comfortable spot. She has been tough in. So be aware, obviously, if you're Addison. Instead, it's away, and it's a massive strikeout, one away. Bases remain loaded in this 7-3 game.
And this is just right on that middle outside part of the plate, and we haven't seen a right-handed hitter yet put their toes up on that line, so it really does open up the zone.
0-1 the count to Brooke Stang. Stang had a comfort in her last at bat of using the left side, of letting that pitch travel, of being aware of the outside, hit it hard but right to the third baseman. Allie Rios on her toes, aware of that fact, in tight at third. Outside. Both these teams have spent the summer winning. And in a true national championship, no surprise to see them tied up 1-2 in this championship game. Up and away, 1 out away with the bases loaded, 1 out away from the title. Caden Peckinpah singled in a pair in the third inning. That one dives outside, 1-0 the count. Bouncing ball, Whitley. Turns, fires, that'll do it. At the 10U age group, Impact Gold, the pride of Texas, they win it all. Premier Girls Fast Pitch 2018 National Champions. Takes a few more hands at this age group to hold up the hardware, doesn't it?
It does. What a special moment for this group of girls. They fought hard this whole tournament and really stood behind the arm of Riley Whitley. The offense came around, put up a big number, and that allowed everybody to kind of relax. And you got to tip your cap to the Beverly Bandits for making a valiant comeback at the end, but Impact Gold holds tight and wins the championship.
Congratulations to the Bandits out of the Chicagoland area representing the Midwest, and to Impact Gold. And those tears certainly byproduct of a lot of hard work. The team out of Texas wins it all, and a wonderful moment for them. Don't forget to join us later on today. The 12U National Championship streamed right here on Flow Sports, and then the 18U PGF Premier Championship followed on ESPNU by the PGF High School All-American Game. What a gathering of elite athletes. Join us then on ESPNU. Our great production team comes together. We have a lot of fun, all loving the athletes and their efforts. Led by John Walsh out in that truck. She's Amanda Freed. We love her insights. My name is Darren Sutton, and on behalf of all the leaders at Premier Girls Fast Pitch, keep loving the sport, keep growing the sport. We'll see you next time at the ballpark. Impact Gold, win it all.